Today topic is redirect to action result class. Okay. See, I'm opening a Visual Studio. See, you have a employee controller class where you are passing action result as an employee, right? When you pass action result as an employee, you are checking is login, you are checking the application of employee ID, and if employee ID is greater than 0 and less than equal to 1000, you are returning the file format, which we discussed yesterday. With the help of this action result, I can able to pass bad request, I can able to pass content, I can able to pass file response. I got my point, file result. After that, I don't want file result. Instead, what I'm going to do, I'm creating another controller called product. I'm creating a controller called product. I'm going to create a empty controller. Add say the classes product listen carefully, product controller. So I have a controller class. Now in this controller class, in the top namespace, I'm going to use controller. Right? Now this product controller become a controller class, under which I will have a method called public action result. Public action result index. Public action result index return content result of. So how to write the content result? I'm simply say index. You simply give new. Right? Now into the employee controller, how to pass the content? You simply pass content like this. For that, you have to inherit the namespace controller. Just go here, inherit the controller namespace. Right? And you can say return content. There you can say product controller index method. Product controller index method. In the top, you are going to say your routers. Routers home. Product / home. Name of the product. So what you are going to give? You have to give product / home. Right? You are passing product / home. Sir, whenever this logic is successful, I want to return a product controller. For that, I'm going to use return new of redirect to action result as a class. Return new of redirect to action result as a class. Here, first you need to provide the action name. What is your action name of product controller? Home. The product controller action name is home, comma. It is expecting the controller name. What is your controller name? Product, comma, and it is also expecting the route. New of, just say null object. That's all. So what I did with the return action result, when I make a return redirect to action result, I'm passing my method name, which is an action result. I'm passing my controller name, which controller I'm going to redirect. And then if I'm passing any ID parameter, I can pass. Now go here. I simply put a breakpoint here. And I'm also putting a breakpoint. Yeah, it is already there. Build the project. When you run the IAS Express, what is the URL you have to pass? URL is employee, this one. Copy this URL. Now, right click, inspect element. I'll tell you why I'm doing an inspect element. Now you go to network. Okay. Make sure you put enter. What happened? Say now it detected URL. So if you go F10, if you use F11, Boolean, it is getting. It is false. So it is returning bad request. Now you go change the request as true. Enter function F11. It is getting the employee ID, and the employee ID is not equal to 0. Now, if you redirect to action result, what will happen? Listen carefully. If you redirect to action result, it is pointing to the product controller. Why? No route matches. Make this as home. Run the express. Slash employee. Enter. Why? Correct only. Clean solution, build solution. Run the express. Come on. Somewhere the memory sits. See, something is problem with the browser. I want to clear the cache. Some problem with my browser cache. Now see, because of the cache. Now I'm running. Now if you look into here, you see I have a home and employee. Two documents I can able to see, right? You see I have two documents. One document is employee login, another document is home. Or you got my point? Now click on employee login. You see the header. Header response. You see the header response? (302) found, which is a temporary redirection. Which is a temporary redirection. Or you got my point? Now go back. If you complete this, you got a controller method. You got two methods. So as part of the URL, there are two request response happening from the browser. The very first request is employee call, employee controller call. It will return a response back to the browser. Browser in turn calling a product controller. You got my point? So how the logic is happening? Logically, if you pass a URL like this, what is your URL, ma? If you are passing URL, if you pass this URL, what will happen? It will hit the server. It will hit the server to process the employee controller. Okay, it is making a request to the employee controller, and that employee controller will return the response back. In turn, there is a redirect happening. You got my point? Again, that redirection will go back to the server, process that request, returning a response. So how many hits are happening from client to server? 2 hits. With the help of redirect to action result, there will be a 2 hits happen between browser and server. You got my point? So that is the advantage of redirect to action result. Okay. So what is your first class? Redirect to, 1 second. Hello. 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 Redirect to action result class is used to process request from client to server, for 2 round trip. Second point, first round trip, actual URL will be processed and detect the subsequent URL with the help of status code. What is your status code? What is your status code? Your status code is, it is not showing. If you click a raw response, you see 302 found. With the help of 302 found, which is typically a temporary redirection, You got my point? And then second round trip, redirected URL will be processed. At any point of time, URL redirection will be happened in 2 times. You got my point? If you are using redirect to action result class. Now, sir, how do I need to make this permanent URL? What I'm going to do here, this guy will provide 301 found. This guy will give 301 found. Now the same guy, I'm going to copy, paste. You will see another attribute. You will see another attribute. Okay, you will see another attribute. What is your attribute? In the redirect to return, where you will see permanent. Are you seeing a Boolean permanent? It is looking for a Boolean permanent. There are 4 parameters is expecting. What are all there? First one is, what is the action name? Second one is, what is the controller name? Third one is, what is the parameter? Fourth one is permanent. If I make true, what will happen? We'll see. Priti, you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now the page not exist. Now what will happen? Again, you are passing the same URL with enter. Right? When you continue, you got the home. Now if you go here in the network, you see 301 found. 301 moved permanently. You got my point? So the status code has changed between redirect to action result. You got my point? If you are using is permanent equal to false, it will be a temporary redirection. You got my point? If we use permanent equal to true, it will be a permanent redirection. That is the only difference. You are not going to see any change. You got my point? So can I write this? Can I write this code saying that hello? Can I write this code saying that hello? Vastananamma 11 kosta. Eppudu leads learning trends ani amma nenu class lo unnanu. Will call you. So the point here is, if the URL, if the redirect to, if you are using this, code snippet 1, code snippet 1, this is the action. Okay, this is your action. Or you got my point? In this method, in this class, why am calling this as a class? Because I'm using new. Because I'm using new. In this class, I am only passing action method, controller name, and route parameters. And I'm going to pass only route parameter, which means so that it will return 302 not found action. 302 not, sorry, found. 302 found. Whereas the subsequent code snippet 2, what I'm going to write here? I'm going to copy this one. So this one is 301, this one is 302. Right? Sorry, this is 301. Okay, now I'm going to use this code snippet, which will, in this class, In this class, I'm passing route parameter and permanent Boolean. Permanent Boolean, so that it will return 302 status code where moved permanently. Moved permanently. You are moving the URL permanently. Here you are only seeing not found. You are only seeing found. Here the status code is 302 moved permanently. I got my point. So what parameter I am passing here, Priti? I am passing the 4 parameters. Home controller, product. Sir, is this enough? Or do I need to have any other action? Yes, you have the same 301. I can use the same 301. I can use return redirect to action. I'm going to simply say redirect to action. The same thing I can pass home, comma, what is my thing? Product, comma, new of. I'm not going to do anything, ma. That's all. It also give you 301. I will show you. You see here, enter. I got the 2 pages. Now go to this. See the payload of response header. You see 200, which is getting. I got my point. Basically, it will do the same thing. Okay, but this class inherited by this class. Redirect to action will be inherited from the redirection to action result. I got my point. You are writing a wrapper, but the same will happen. Sir, this is for this one. So this is another code snippet. What is your code snippet 3? Same thing you will do. Copy this. Paste here. Which is also the same. 301 found only. But instead of result, this is a class. On top of that, this one automatically create an object of return to redirect action result. So this method, this redirect to action method will internally creates an object of redirect to action result class and pass the subsequent parameter values. What are all the parameters? Parameter values of action name, controller name. Am I right or wrong? I'm passing action name. I'm also passing controller name, route parameters. I got my point. In which it automatically, it automatically create a, in which it automatically create a 301 found. You got my point? 301 or 302? 301 form. You got my point? Your HTTP status code is 301 form. Sir, in that case, is there a same method, redirect to action? Can I have a permanent redirection? Yes, you have. What do you need to do? You have to use redirect to action permanent. That's all. If you want to move the URL permanently, you have to go for redirect to action permanent class. If you want to do a normal, which will be normal class. So, can I copy this code? Code snippet 4. What is your code snippet 4? Redirection to action. Permanent. I'm not doing anything. I'm doing the same thing here, which internally make that as a permanent attribute. If you look into here, go to definition. What happened? It is taking action name, it is taking controller name, it is taking route value, which internally calls the permanent route. Fragment equal to null, which means it is internally calling a fragment of permanent Boolean value. Or you got my point? So this redirecting to internally create object, same thing will happen. Only thing is you are going to change this. What? Will internally create an object of redirection action result class, pass the subsequent parameter, and internally taken care of permanent equal to true. Internally taken care of permanent is true. Priti, you understand? Is it confusing?
Little bit confusing, sir. I will go through recording again.
Come again?
Hello.
Come again? Yeah.
Little bit confusing, sir. So I will go through again.
Where you are confusing? Tell me. You understand redirect to action first? This one?
Yes. Yeah.
So when you make a redirect to action result, it is producing 301 form. Am I right? Did you see that?
Yes, sir.
Similar way, redirect to action result, I'm making true, right?
Yeah.
Same way, here you are using redirect to action, which is I am going to, this is the super class of redirection action result. Here you create an object, right? There you are not creating an object because this itself an object. Okay. Internally, it will return. Yes. I got my point. So that is the concept. This is called routing concept. And you have one more, which is called local redirect to action. Local redirect. There you are going to pass only the URL. What is the URL you have? What is the URL you have? Your URL is product home. That's all. You are not going to pass anything. You are directly giving a full URL. Here you have to specify separately. Here you have to give a full URL. Now run it. The same thing. See, enter product controller index matched. You got my point? So, sir, if you want to do a local URL permanently, because 301, 302, you need to see, right? So here you say local redirect permanent. This local redirect permanent internally call which method? Redirection to action result. I got my point. See, this method will automatically call. See, you need to understand two things. What is your first method? First call. Let's take an example. Redirect to action result is a class which will help to redirect the action method containing controller class. This is first point. Sir, I want to make redirect to action result permanently. What you will do? You will add a permanent parameter. On top of that, there are two classes will be derived. One is redirect action. Redirect to action is a method which internally calls and create an object of which class? Create an object of redirect to action result class. This is one thing. The second thing, redirect to action permanent. You understand, Preeti, now?
Yes, sir.
Redirect to action permanent is a method which internally calls and create object of redirect to action result class containing method. Make sense? And you have one more. Sir, I want to make a local URL. See, this redirection to action permanent, redirection to action result, both are internal URL and external URLs. It will support both internal and external. All these methods will support to redirect both internal and external URLs. External. What is the external URL? Let's say www.google.com will support both internal and external URLs. Make sense? The fourth point, local redirect to action. That is what we see, right? What is the another method? Local redirect is also a method. Same thing. As simple like this. Copy. But it will support only internal URLs. Internal URLs. Local means within the application. See, I created my own MVC Core application, right? Within the controllers, routings, everything will support. If you use google.com, it will not work as a URL because it is external to the core application. Okay. The next one is local URL permanent. Local redirect permanent. So you have 301, you have 302. 301 is found. 302 is moved permanently. Right? The status code of these actions. The HTTP status codes are either 301 or 302. Or you got my point? 301 basically found status. 302 is a permanent, moved permanently. Or you got my point? Moved permanently. That's all, ma. Anything you want to discuss? Now you understand, right?
Yes, sir.
It's a very easy topic. All you need to understand and practice.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's
Yes.
all for today. Tomorrow we are going for model binding. Controller is done. Tomorrow onwards we are going to learn model binding. Thank you all. Thank you, Priti.
Thank you, sir. Good day.